Alright, so you right now watching this video cannot stick to your schedule. As in, you cannot be productive consistently. And so if you want to learn exactly how to do that, then just keep watching this video. And this is coming from someone who went through the same exact problems, as in, like, I was running only on motivation, and then when that motivation ran out, I'd basically go back to square zero, and then I'd have to somehow find a way to get back on that routine just to last another 3-4 days. And so basically this is you right now, as in day one, you're good, you're productive, whatever. Day two, also really good. You hit all your tasks in your habit tracker. Day number three, it's like good, but could be better. So it's like half-half. And then let's get down all the way to day 10. You went back to day number 0. And so basically, how do we fix this routine, right? We want to break this routine where we always fall back so quickly to our old habits. We want to just create a new lifestyle that's actually sustainable and that we can commit to for like a long time, because that's exactly how you hit your goals. If you can't stick to your habits for more than 30 days, 60 days, 100 days, then you're not going to make significant changes and significant progress in your life. And basically through all the trial and error, through trying so many different things and listening to so much advice and actually taking action on it, so I wouldn't say I've mastered it because I'm not the most successful guy that you're watching, but I've improved so much from the point that I was at, which is probably the point where a lot of you guys are at. And so if you can learn just a bit of what I'm about to say, it might actually help you with your consistency. And so the biggest thing that helped me realize how to stay consistent was this right here. And so the biggest switch that I made that made me become more consistent was going from willpower and motivation and then going all the way to passion and purpose. Those are the 2 P's. I don't know if there's a third P. I don't know. I got 2 right now. Okay, and the thing is, most of you right now are using your willpower and your motivation to get work done. As in, you'll slack off all week, and then that one day at 3 a.m. when you're watching reels, you see that one reel that gives you motivation to become a millionaire or something, and then you get up and do 10 push-ups, and then you go back to sleep, and nothing happens. What most of you probably lack is passion and purpose. You really can't have one without the other because they kind of interlink with each other. And just a disclaimer, I'm not saying motivation is bad, but as in, if that's the only fuel you're running on, it's gonna run out at some point. Motivation is not meant to last. It's not meant to be consistent. Motivation is supposed to fluctuate over time, as in some days you'll feel like this, some days it'll be under the graph, right? And then some days it'll just be constant. And so what about the days when it's like this? How are you gonna be consistent? How are you gonna be productive? How are you gonna get your work done, right? And even willpower itself, as in, that will also depend on how motivated you are. If you're feeling like today's work is gonna be easy, then it takes less willpower. But even then, your willpower has its capacity, and some days you're gonna cope and not do the work. The reason why you want to switch to using your passion and purpose is because you'll enjoy the work you're doing, you'll find it purposeful, and that way you're not just thinking of the short-term pain. Instead of thinking about the pain, see, that's the other P, you're thinking about the purpose. You're thinking about the long-term effects, as in like the impact your work's gonna have on people, on yourself, on your family, on whatever it is that you're doing. And you know what? I know a lot of students are watching this video, and so they're gonna say, I don't like studying. How the hell am I supposed to use purpose and passion when I feel like the only thing I can use is motivation and willpower? And you know what? Fair point, and that's exactly what I used to think, until I just changed the way that I viewed my studies. As in, I'm not saying everyone needs to enjoy studying, right? And even the people who enjoy studying more than others also do not enjoy it at times. But as in, just understanding the purpose that it has will make them get through the hard times more easily. And so the thing is, if you're in high school, you're most probably not going to do every subject that you would have liked, right? But as in, let's say you're going to school and you actually have an end goal with your academics. If you're going to school and then your end goal is, I'm going to drop out, or I'm not going to do anything that has to do with university or academics, whatever, after high school, then maybe this applies less to you. But even then, as in, if you just framed your mind to be like, oh, I'm a student of knowledge, I'm always going to be seeking knowledge, whatever it is, and that way I'm going to become the wise person or the wise father. I'm gonna pass on knowledge and wisdom to kids, and I'm gonna make my knowledge useful. It's gonna make you more receptive to actually doing the homework when you don't feel like it, even if it feels purposeless at that time. The reality is, it's tough to get the good grades, and sometimes you just need the good grades in order to get to the program you want to get to, in order to get the university you want to get to, the med school, the law school you want to get into, right? And so what's gonna push you to actually get those grades, right? Let's say if you're becoming a doctor, right? You can reframe your mind to be like, okay, so when I'm a doctor, I'm going to be saving people's lives, right? I'm going to be a role model to my kids, basically showing them what good humanity is capable of, and just giving hope to people and changing their lives, making their quality of life improve. And so in order to become the doctor, you need to get into med school, right? And in order to get to med school, you need to do good in your studies, in your courses, and also do good on the medical exam. And and all of this reframing will make your work much more purposeful. As in, you will wake up at 7 a.m. that one Saturday, and you will do your textbook readings, and you will study for that exam ahead of time, and you will do your assignment and spend an extra 2 hours on it to make it just perfect, because you understand what it means and how it could affect your purpose. As in, if your purpose is to become a doctor and change people's lives, then you need to get into med school. At this point, it's not like, oh yeah, we'll see how it goes. As in, like, no, I need to get into med school. As in, I'm going to try my best and I'm going to make it work one way or another. If it takes 1 year, 10 years, 50 years. But if you're the person that's just running on pure willpower and you don't have purpose with your work because it's like, oh, I'm only doing this because of my parents or whatever, then honestly, it might be a waste of time that you're in university or high school or whatever if you're doing it just to please your parents. Whatever work you're doing, especially if it's something like school, which for students takes up most of their days, right? It should be filled with purpose. Imagine living a life where most of the time you spend is not something that you find valuable. What's that going to do to your mental well-being, your self-confidence, your self-conviction? It's like you don't even tie any value to yourself because it's like, I'm not doing anything valuable, right? Versus someone who actually finds like pure value in what they're offering to the world, they're going to see themselves as valuable, and therefore the self-esteem will be higher, their confidence will be higher, and they will portray that to everyone else around them. But you right now, you're just like, yeah, I'm just cruising through life. It's like I'm letting life just like take me wherever it wants because I'm just following the system and I'm not doing anything that I actually want. And so that's a little overview of how I've been able to kind of build my consistency over time. It was not fast at all, but it was by just tying purpose to the work that I'm doing. And so if you like this type of content, just click the first link in the description. It's my free community where I help a lot of young guys to get better grades and also hit their self-improvement goals. And so if that sounds interesting, then I'll see you there.